Welcome back. Are you ready to learn some super valuable insights and wisdom from a super powerful book? Well, get ready because I'm about to share with you the amazing insights I gained from delving into the Book of Boundaries by Melissa Urban. This book is like a magic wand for setting healthy relationship limits, and trust me, it's a game changer. It's packed with over 130 scripts to make sure you always have the right words to set boundaries and create happier and healthier relationships. So grab a notebook, a pen, and get ready to take some notes. It's time to set yourself free and create the relationships you deserve. Let's go. Introduction. Are you tired of dealing with a pesky vampire neighbor who just won't quit? Trust me, I feel your pain. Living next to a vampire can be a real pain in the neck, literally. But don't worry, you don't have to move or ask them to switch diets. There's a much simpler solution. Stay indoors. Vampires may be powerful creatures, but they're polite enough not to enter your home without permission. But what about other kinds of belligerent bloodsuckers, whose negative behaviors are threatening to ruin your life? Well, my friend, the solution is the same: set boundaries. But how, you may ask? Don't worry, the Book of Boundaries has got your back. It will teach you what boundaries are, when and where you might need to use them, and even give you some specific scripts for deploying this valuable life skill. You'll learn how to set and enforce boundaries to solve relationship problems while remaining respectful of others, even vampires. So, say goodbye to neck aches and hello to peaceful living. Get your hands on the Book of Boundaries and take control of your life today. Idea number 1. Good morning. Are you ready to start your day off right? I know I am. There's nothing like a morning walk to clear your head and prepare you for the day ahead. But what if an elderly neighbor joins you uninvited? It can be tough telling them you prefer to walk alone. But don't worry, this is where boundaries come in. Boundaries are essential for maintaining energy and self-esteem. It's not just about stating your position, it's about being kind to yourself. And let me tell you, kindness requires clarity. So repeat after me: clear is kind. For the walking scenario, you might say, "Hi. This week, I'm going to start walking by myself. I need this time alone to clear my head." It's easy to think of boundaries as something to use in difficult or dangerous situations, but the truth is that boundaries simply limit what we're willing to accept from others. Setting limits isn't easy and it can be uncomfortable, but so is constantly being anxious or avoiding certain people or subjects. Just remember, when you set a boundary, you're also being kind to your relationships. You need to start speaking plainly and being honest about what you want. But how do you know when you should put a barrier in place? The answer is when you hear your inner voice. You know, it's the one which says things like, "Wow, I'm not going to answer that," or, "Well, not really, but I feel like I have no choice." Of course, these warnings aren't always dramatic. But don't worry, you don't have to have a dramatic solution either. In Melissa Urban's The Book of Boundaries, she uses a threat-level system to help you decide when and where to place the proper restrictions to protect yourself. So, whether you're dealing with uninvited walking companions or any other kind of difficult situation, you'll know exactly how to set boundaries and protect yourself. Happy walking! Idea number 2. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where someone at a party is making you uncomfortable and you're not sure how to handle it? Well, let me tell you, it's not fun. Just like Melissa, the author of the Book of Boundaries, who found herself in a similar situation at a party. A woman at the party eyed Melissa suspiciously and asked her why she wasn't drinking, unaware that Melissa was in recovery. Melissa told her that she just didn't feel like it that evening. Melissa didn't believe she was in danger but chose to walk away. Later, the same party guest, jokingly, asked why she was acting so prudishly. Now Melissa's alarm bells were ringing. Her thoughts curiously wandered to the Homeland Security Advisory System for Risk Management. Was this a green threat? No. That was half an hour ago. The danger level is yellow. The drunk woman became preoccupied with Melissa as the evening progressed. She approached the teetotaler once more, insisting both of them drink shots. Then, boom! The threat level hit red. Melissa had to leave. When someone threatens your safety or mental health in this way, you should be aware and ready to act. Thankfully, the threat level system allows you to do just that. Green indicates the first unkind or awkward comment. Your reply should be firm. Here you're giving people the benefit of the doubt. For example, you could say, "No, thank you. I'm not drinking right now." Use a yellow response if they ignore your green boundary. Yellow is also a good choice if you know this person and think that stuff might hit the fan. Use powerful words like, "No. I have more fun when I don't drink, so I won't be drinking tonight." Don't bother justifying your boundary. Too much explanation is unnecessary. It often aggravates the situation. A red threat signals danger. Use direct language. Make this their final reminder, and make it clear that you're prepared to stand firm. Declare the consequence and be ready to enforce it, such as, "It sounds like you're saying I'm no fun without booze, which is upsetting. I hope you don't pressure people to drink again. I'm leaving." Every boundary you set must be enforceable. It's normal to feel anxious or guilty when setting clear boundaries. But practice will help you improve. Remember why you're doing this. Your needs matter. If you've experienced trauma, a boundary can be scary. If so, you should try counseling to help you regain control. Now that you know why limits are necessary, let's look at more uses for them. With the Book of Boundaries by Melissa Urban, you'll have the tools to navigate any social situation and come out feeling confident and in control. So, let's set some boundaries and take back control of our lives. Idea number 3. The pandemic has been a real whirlwind for all of us. It's been a tough adjustment for everyone, and it's not over yet. But we've all managed to establish a new morning routine, work hours, and leisure time to feel normal again. But the line between home and work is still blurry for millions. Email inboxes are overflowing. Phones buzz in the middle of the night. It's hardly surprising. After all, we're hardwired to take as much time, energy, and attention for ourselves as we can. Given this, we should reassess our boundaries to maintain a positive and productive work environment. But where do we start? Well, the most common types of work constraints are time-based. Do you find yourself constantly bombarded with new tasks and deadlines? You're not alone. Another aspect to note is personal time. Perhaps you don't take enough vacation or sick days or continually come home exhausted. Also, personal space and energy can become an issue if people constantly intrude on your mental health or privacy at work. If any of this sounds familiar, it's time to make changes. But how do you start saying no, particularly to your boss? You can start by combining your threat level with a boundary script. So, if a job is dumped on you once, it's a green alert. You can say, "I can add this to my in tray if you're okay delaying or removing other tasks." If your signal switches to yellow, try saying, "I'm sorry, but I don't have time. I already have so much to do." Finally, if things really go wrong, contact the people involved. For example, you can email them and say, "I've reached a tipping point. Any extra work would be harmful to my performance and mental health. Let's set up a meeting to discuss potential solutions." Make a record of your jobs and any extra requests your manager may need to be aware of. Prepare for resistance. Coworkers or bosses may call you unprofessional or chastise you for not being a team player. You might also have to deal with passive-aggressive comments, but keep in mind that healthy boundaries are good for you and the company's bottom line. They make you more productive at work and energize you when you're not there. Is it common for you, your coworkers, or your managers to work extra hours without pay? Reading your company's handbook and HR policies can help you figure out what's okay and what's not. And don't be afraid to write everything down. Putting your needs on paper ensures everyone is on the same page. That just about wraps up business. Now let's discuss family boundaries. The Book of Boundaries by Melissa Urban will give you the tools you need to navigate any situation and come out feeling confident and in control. So, let's set some boundaries and take back control of our lives. Idea number 4. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where your grandparents are giving your kids too much candy and it's causing problems for you as a parent? It can be a tough one to navigate, but it's important to set boundaries to maintain a healthy relationship with your family. First things first, remember the golden rule: clear is kind. Have a chat with the grandparents and try to find a compromise. Show gratitude for all they did to raise you and express how much they love your kids. Agree that their rules apply when the kids are at their house, but remind them that you call the shots when it comes to your kids' health. Even if your parents don't agree with your parenting style, remember, these are your kids and your life. It's totally fine to be upfront with your parents about what you need and expect from them. Now, the tricky part is finding the right words. If you have a grandparent that's a bit pushy, try using this script. Please don't give the kids candy before I pick them up. It makes them too hyper on the way home. I'd be happy to provide them with healthier snacks next time. Remind the grandparents that they deserve a break from the parenting gig and politely let them know that you know what's best for your family. If this has happened before, switch to a yellow script and say, "Mom, I've asked you before not to give the kids candy before I pick them up. If you can't respect that, I won't be able to bring them over anymore." Resistance is to be expected. Most families aren't used to new rules being enforced. But don't stress about how others may react to your boundaries. If the grandparents still don't understand, it may be necessary to take drastic measures. Use your red script and include a consequence, such as, "I won't let the kids sleep over, but you're welcome to come visit at our house." Keep in mind that family dynamics can't change overnight, so be prepared to enforce these boundaries multiple times. But remember, small steps forward are better than none at all. That's how you handle the candy-loving grandparents. Idea number 5. Are you tired of feeling like you're constantly being interrupted by unexpected visitors? Trust me, I totally get it. It can be super frustrating when you're trying to relax and have some alone time, and then bam, someone just waltzes right in without warning. But, have no fear, because setting boundaries with those pesky in-laws is definitely doable. First things first, have a chat with your partner. They're likely aware of how their parents act, and may be ignoring your concerns for the sake of keeping the peace. But, it's important for them to know how you feel and to respect your boundaries. And, if things are already a little tense, try using the magic number tool to help you reach an agreement. It's simple. Just ask yourself and your partner to rate the situation on a scale of 1 to 10. If you rate it an 8 and your partner rates it a 5, then you both know where to set the boundary. Of course, every situation is different and there may be some compromise required. But, as long as you're honest and prioritize setting your limits over playing power games, you'll be able to have those difficult conversations without causing too much drama. And remember, setting boundaries with family members can be tough, but it's worth it in the end. Idea number 6. Setting boundaries in a relationship is like navigating a ship through stormy seas. It can be tricky, but with clear communication and trust, you can weather any tempest. Remember, always say what you mean and trust your partner to do the same. Speak clearly and kindly, and hold them to the same standard. And remember, boundaries can be helpful, but they aren't always necessary. Happy sailing! Summary: setting boundaries is like building a fortress around your heart. It's not just about saying no to others, it's also about saying no to yourself. You know that feeling when you're about to eat that last piece of candy, but you know you really shouldn't? That's where boundaries come in. They give you the power to control your own actions and make choices that are best for you. But setting boundaries isn't always easy. It can be tough to say no to people, especially if they're close to you. But don't worry, we've got your back. With a little bit of practice, you'll be a boundary-setting pro in no time. First things first, be clear and kind when setting boundaries. No one likes being blindsided, so make sure to communicate your needs and be honest about your feelings. Another tip is to automate your boundaries. Set up little triggers to remind you to stay on track. For example, if you're trying to reduce your phone use, set a reminder to keep your phone out of your room an hour before bed. Remember, boundaries aren't selfish, they're essential. They help you take control of your life and make choices that are best for you. So go forth, set those boundaries, and watch as your life improves. Now, that was just a taste of what I learned from the book, but trust me, it's worth diving in for the full scoop. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy and click the like button, share it with your friends, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video from me again. Your support helps me reach more people and bring even more awesome content your way, so thank you in advance. Now go forth and set some boundaries,